Welcome to JSA TV, your virtual newsroom for telecom professionals. Joining us here today on the floor of Telecom Exchange, we're honored to have Mr. Ruben. He's the CEO of PEG Bandwidth. Rich, welcome to JSA TV.
Thanks, Jamie.
And there's been an awful lot of talk about cell site backhaul, as you know. But for our viewers who may not already know, can you define what is cell site backhaul and why, when the wireless industry has been around for 30 years, we need it today?
Sure. So cell site backhaul is the process of picking up the data that goes to a cell site and delivering it to a wireless carrier switch. So your cellular spectrum is really just used to communicate from your wireless device back to the cell site. Once it hits the cell site, it's going traditionally over terrestrial lines and being delivered to a switch where it has all the intelligence that the carrier can get that content or pick up the content from wherever it's going.
And so who would you say are your customers?
Sure. So Verizon Wireless, Sprint, US Cellular, T-Mobile, companies like that, all the wireless carriers have the challenge that as they've gone from 1G to 2G to 3G and now 4G LTE, the amount of content that's getting sent to their switches is so much larger that they've really got a bottleneck that's developed in the thin copper wires that traditionally carry the data from the cell site to the switch, and they need a fiber connection. So what our company does is we build high capacity fiber Ethernet connections so that you can have an IP network that works very, very quickly in the wireless world.
And thus eliminate that bottleneck.
That's correct. We make your wireless device work faster.
Love it. So there's also been a lot of talk in our space about small cells. So can you tell us, are those opportunities real for us?
Sure. So if you think about the way traditionally the cellular network has worked, it's large cells up on a mountaintop somewhere, and the higher they are, the more they can get coverage. And that was great for broad coverage and large amounts of coverage. As you start seeing networks getting more congested, and as you need to fill in spots where there isn't any coverage, small cells are a great tool for a wireless carrier, and we're going to start seeing more and more of them, where they're going to be on telephone poles, on billboards, around stadiums and universities, where you're really moving the antenna closer to the end user. And the closer you move that antenna to the end user, the more coverage you get and the more capacity you get. Again, those same antennas need to then be connected to a fiber network to be brought back to a switch so they can have the intelligence that they need to be able to make the communication network work.
And that's where PEG Bandwidth fits in. Sure,
that's exactly where we are. That we focus our business on solving the most difficult problems for wireless carriers. Small cell is going to be a very large challenge because you're going to have to work with municipalities and really that aspect of how do you get a cell site closer to a device, closer to the customer, creates a great challenge because you're really going to have to go through all the difficult operational issues that make that happen, and that's what our company's particularly good at.
And my last question for you, for our viewers who want to know more about PEG Bandwidth, where can they go?
PEGBandwidth.com.
PEGBandwidth.com, there you have it. Thank you, Rich, for joining us, and thank you, viewers, for tuning in to JSA TV.